A very good evening and thank you for joining GBS News at 9. My name is Stephen George and our sign language interpreter tonight is Paul Madenge. And now, the Cabinet has today approved sweeping reforms targeting state corporations to enhance efficiency and reduce financial strain. Key among the changes is the merger of 42 parastatals with overlapping functions into 20 streamlined entities. Additionally, 9 corporations will be dissolved, with their roles transferred to relevant ministries, while 6 others will undergo restructuring to improve service delivery. The move is aimed at eliminating redundancy and optimizing resources. During a cabinet meeting chaired by President William Ruto at State House Lodge in Kakamega County, it was revealed that many state corporations have struggled in financial efficiencies, contributing to a backlog of pending bills totaling to 94.4 billion shillings. The restructuring process also includes declassifying certain professional bodies and public funds that have been operating as state corporations, returning them to their respective ministries under a more focused governance framework. The reforms are part of broader efforts to streamline government operations and reduce dependence on exchequer. Among state corporations set to dissolve are the President's Award, Kenya Nuclear Power and Energy Agency, Key National Commission for UNESCO, Kenya Film Classification Board, among others. National Coalition have been blamed now the Prime CS Musalia Mudavadi for merging his party with UDA without involving the national delegation on the merger. The NC officials who spoke in Kakamega County today amid President Ruto's tour in the western region have stated that the Prime CS has left them out in the cold, and here are the details.
Many National Coalition members have accused the Prime Cabinet Secretary Honorable Musalia Mudavadi for merging his party with Ruto's UDA without involving the party organs, and have promised to join another party outside UDA and ANC.
Mimi nashangaa sana, kila chama hata kila ofisi kubwa inakuanga na legal team ya kupatia wakubwa wake advice. Legal team ya ANC mbona ya kusaidia wakubwa wetu? Iwaambia kwamba chama hawezi vunjwa bila NDC. Tanda kuna na Kakamega Declaration hivi karibuni. Hataki mtu atoke kujua tuambie tufanye hivi, hapana. Tutaamua ile ambayo tutafanya, ile chama ambayo tutaenda na wenzetu watatufuata ili tuone 2027 bargaining itakuwa wapi.
The Amani National Coalition members have addressed the press amid President Ruto's tour in the western region, stating that they have not benefited from his administration, and according to them, they stated that it is only Honorable Musalia Mudavadi who has gained while leaving them in the cold.
Na Mudavadi, sisi tumekuwa na imani na wewe, tumekuunga mkono, tulikuwa na imani tukajua ya kwamba unaweza kupeleka Waluya mbele, lakini umeleta Waluya down. It is high time Waluya wafikirie ni nani wanaweza kusukuma mbele, lakini sio Musalia. Itakuwaje mko na watu safari moja mnatembea, alafu wewe unatoka kwa hiyo safari unatuacha sisi wenye tulikusukuma mbele, sasa unaenda peke yako kujipendekeza kwa chama cha UDA. Sisi hatutaenda kwa chama cha UDA, lakini tunasema Musalia umetusaliti.
Tumekuwa wakati wote ngazi ya wao kupandia wakikula minovu na sisi tukihangaika. Wamama tuko na watoto ambao wanahitaji kazi, wamesoma, vile vile wazee. Kuna vijana youth exao wote wanahitaji kazi. Hakuna kitu chochote party leader wetu ametusaidia. Ila kazi yake ni kutuacha nyuma, yeye anaenda mbele. Tumezalia, tulikuwa uaminifu kwa chama, lakini penye tumefika wakati huu sasa tumesema hata uaminifu wetu kwa chama wacha uishe hivyo, na sisi tuangalie na tuendelee na mipango yetu.
These statements from ANC members in Kakamega comes in just 4 days after the ANC-UDA merger, which has also been questioned by the Senate Majority Whip Honorable Boni Halwale, who asked for clarity on why there was a merger between the two parties without involving the party's organs.
I therefore want clarity on the way we are going to partner in the politics of Kenya. If there is clarity with the way we are doing politics as government with the leadership from Nyanza and the leadership from Mount Kenya and elsewhere, We want clarity on how we are doing politics with the Luo community, because we are an 8 million strong people who cannot be taken for granted.
As back and forth on UDA-ANC merger grabs the political atmosphere in the western region, members of the ANC party have remained in a limbo on which way to follow, but the question still remains to be, are political parties formed to benefit individuals, or they are formed for the benefit of its members? Has Musalia Mudavadi merged ANC with UDA for his personal gain or for the benefit of individuals from his party? Davis Karani, GBS News, Nairobi.
President William Ruto has completed his Day 2 tour in Kakamega County as he calls for national unity in the country. Now, the head of state, who was escorted by top government officials, has urged all leaders to unite and work together for equal distribution of resources across the entire nation. He is expected to tour other counties in the western region, where he will be opening various projects while championing for a broad-based government.
Ama si mbolea ifike hapa Shinyalu? Ama mnasemaje? Ifike hapa Shinyalu? Sasa wewe Fernandez na mimi lazima tufikishe mambo ya mbolea ifike hapa, au wangwana wakulima wasonge naye mbele. Tumeelewana jameni? Tuko pamoja? Kwa hivyo mimi nataka niwahakikishie ya kwamba Kenya hii mimi niliamua, si ndio? Nikasema ya kwamba siasa ya ukabila na chuki na kugawanana hatutaki katika Kenya yetu. Na ndio sababu hiyo nikatengeneza serikali ya umoja ya Wakenya. Serikali inaitwa broad based, ambayo imeleta Wakenya wote pamoja. Si sasa huyu gavana wenu wa zamani Bwana Oparanya ni waziri katika serikali ya Kenya? Mimi nauliza nyinyi watu wa huyu mungwana huyu Oparanya anatosha ama atoshi? Si tutembee pamoja na yeye? Mimi nimeketi chini na viongozi wa ODM na wale wengine wote, na tumesema hatutaki Kenya ya watu kugawana. Tuungane, tufanye kazi pamoja ili tuweze kushughulikia mahitaji ya wananchi wa Kenya, tuzalishe chakula, tuondoe umaskini, tupange ajira ya hawa vijana, tuunganishe stima, tusomeshe watoto wetu, na tuhakikisha kwamba kuna matibabu katika hospitali, Kenya iweze kusonga mbele.
Sisi watu wa Kakamega tumeamua 2027 tutatembea na William Samoei Ruto. Mirembe bosi, si barabara ndio hii? Si airport inaingia? Atakuwa amelipa madeni ama atakuwa amelipa? Nyasaye amulinde kutobola makuba manyishe tawe William Samoei.
The government has intensified efforts to extend electricity to all households through the last mile connectivity project. The president today announced in Kakamega County that 2.9 billion shillings has been allocated to connect at least 35,000 households in Kakamega, with 2,500 in Shunyalu receiving free installation. The initiatives aim to replace kerosene use and boost economic development.
The government is intensifying efforts to connect all households to electricity under the last mile connectivity project. Speaking in Shinyalu, Kakamega County, President William Ruto said the initiative aims to transform lives by ensuring every home, regardless of structure type, get access to affordable power. According to the head of state, Kakamega County has been allocated 2.9 billion Kenyan shillings for the project, with Shinyalu alone receiving 243 million Kenyan shillings to connect 2,500 households.
Leo nimekuja hapa kuanzisha mradi ya kuunganisha stima watu 35,000 hapa Kakamega County. Serikali ya Kenya tumetoa pesa shilingi bilioni 2.9 ya kuunganisha stima ya watu wa hapa Kakamega County, na hiyo kazi imeanza tayari. Waulile, munanielewa? Na hiyo kazi nyinyi watu wa Shinyalu Hii Shinyalu hii tutaunganisha watu wa Shinyalu 2,500 kwa huduma ya stima. Tumewapatia pesa shilingi milioni 243 kuhakikisha kwamba nyinyi wangwana huko makwenu haijafika stima, tufikishe stima huko kwenu. Tumeelewana?
President Ruto emphasized that the electrification program aligns with these campaign pledges and is key to Kenya's broader economic transformation. He assured residents that power connection will be provided for free of charge, with households only required to pay monthly bills, which are more affordable than kerosene.
Sasa tukisha kuwekea stima, si ndio? Ile bill, si nimewaambia hakuna kulipa, lakini bill ya mwezi. Wewe unafikiri nani atakulipia? Si wewe utajilipia mwenyewe ile ya mwezi. Na wacha niwaambie, hiyo bill ni kidogo kuliko ile unatumia kwa mafuta taa. Unasikia? Sasa niko bei ya chini. So na wewe unaweza kucharge simu, mtu asikupeleke tena huko kusema uende ucharge simu. Sasa unaweza kucharge simu nyumbani. Si ndio? Na unaweza kufanya ile kazi nyingine yote pale nyumbani. Na hii maneno ya stima tunazungusha hii Kakamega yote.
On his part, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki urged Kenyans to rally behind the government's vision, emphasizing that national unity is crucial for progress.
A fire at Moi Girls High School in Nairobi has left dormitory in ruins, raising concerns among parents as experts investigate the cause of the blaze, which broke out during dinner time. Parents have flocked to the school seeking answers about the safety of their children. Fortunately, all students were accounted for, but the incident has rekindled painful memories of tragic fire at the school in 2017. Susan Nganga brings us more.
Fire experts combed a dormitory that was burnt down at the Moi Girls School in Nairobi in search of clues on its cause. The fire broke out on Monday evening in the Mount Zion dormitory while students were being served supper. Firefighters responded swiftly with 3 fire engines arriving on the scene to contain the blaze. Fortunately, all students were evacuated safely and no injuries were reported. However, the fire resulted in significant losses, with over 50 students' valuables destroyed. As experts from the police, county government, and the Kenya Power combed through the charred remains of the dormitory for clues, parents gathered outside the school seeking information about their children. Tension rose as some parents claimed they had been locked out and were not allowed to speak with their kids. The school administration assured them that meetings would be arranged once the investigation was complete. Outgoing Nairobi Police Boss Adamson Bungei stated that while the cause of the fire remains undetermined, it could either be due to arson or an electrical fault. This incident brings back painful memories of a tragic fire in 2017 at the same institution that claimed the lives of 10 students. A court later found a 14-year-old girl guilty of manslaughter for that incident. Susan Nganga, GBS News.
Kenya's sugar imports are set to decline as the government enforces measures to boost local production, including an import reduction, bonus payments to farmers, and debt waivers. Now, Agriculture CS Mutahi Kagwe on Monday said the strategy aims to make Kenya a net sugar exporter by 2026. Recent interventions include subsidies and increased cane prices have driven record production, signaling a major shift towards self-sufficiency in the sugar industry.
Importation of sugar is set to reduce substantially as the government intensifies implementation of measures such as imports reduction, bonus payment to farmers, and debt waivers to boost local production and quality. According to the new Agriculture and Livestock Development Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe, sugar imports reduction is said to protect local farmers, leading to a significant decline in imports.
Your Excellency, the investments the government has made in fertilizers are already bearing fruit. The amount of sugar we are going to import now is a lot less than we were going to because of what the fertilizer input has done to these farmers. This year, we are going to produce some 800,000 metric tons. Our requirement is about 1.1 million metric tons for the country. So we are going to reduce and save foreign exchange through the actions that you have taken in terms of supply of fertilizers. And you have just told me, as we were walking around, to ensure that the farmers in this region who receive 700,000 bags of fertilizer can receive more than 1 million bags so that they can even infuse more activity in agriculture.
Kenya largely imports sugar under a quota system safeguard mechanism to meet the annual deficit from the common market for Eastern and Southern Africa, also known as COMESA. Kenya also imports sugar from Mauritius, India, Thailand, Egypt and Uganda. Kenya's annual sugar consumption stands at 1.1 million tons, with 950,000 tons used as table sugar, averaging 80,000 tons monthly. Recent government interventions have driven unprecedented growth in sugar production since independence, as the country produced 832,185 tons of sugar in 2024. Key interventions leading to the success were improved cane management, subsidized fertilizer, increased rainfall, and raising the sugarcane price to 5,000 Kenyan shillings per ton. Hilary Kabila, GBS News.
It is time for us to take a short break. Keep your feedback streaming into our social media handles at GBS TV Africa, and our SMS line is 244. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
AS and A levels is a qualification program that is advanced. That is after one has completed the IGCSE program, then they advise to continue for AS and A level. AS typically is a 1-year program, and A levels is done in the 2nd year after completing the AS level. And this one equips the student with the knowledge that is recommended for the university and also by employers outside the countries or within the country.
Everywhere, GBS.
And welcome back. Now, in a bid to enhance accountability and efficiency in public service, CS Edward Owalo conducted a comprehensive performance evaluation for the Kenya Wildlife Service. Now, the exercise aimed at assessing operational strengths and identifying areas for improvement, underscores the government's commitment to preserving Kenya's rich wildlife heritage. Our reporter has more details.
The Kenya Wildlife Service has come under the spotlight as Cabinet Secretary for ICT and Digital Economy Eliud Owalo spearheaded a detailed performance review of the organization. This initiative seeks to streamline operation and ensure that Kenya's wildlife remains a global treasure. The performance evaluation highlighted key achievements by KWS, including the recent reduction in poaching incidents and improved conservation efforts. However, it also shed light on areas requiring attention, such as resource allocation, ranger welfare, leveraging technology for wildlife monitoring.
I wish to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the teams involved in implementing the performance contract for the year 2023-24, both from the Kenya Wildlife Service headquarters in the field for their dedication and commitment under the leadership of the Director General, Dr. Kanga. I thank the Public Service Performance Management Unit for keeping track on the implementation of the same, without which it will be difficult to gauge the level of performance or promises made to Kenyans.
Calling on the stakeholders to play their part in ensuring the sustainability of Kenya's ionic wildlife. As the government prioritizes wildlife conservation, this evaluation signals a renewed commitment to addressing challenges and securing the future of Kenya's natural wonders.
The Board of Trustees, I being the chair, and the members of the board, are steadfastly committed to support the organization to succeed. And by this, we put them on toes also to do the best they can to make the promises fulfilled and in time.
In his closing remarks, Awalo emphasized the importance of collaboration. The outcomes of the review are expected to shape reforms within KWS, ensuring that Kenya remain a leader in wildlife conservation on the global stage. Joy Kuria, GBS News.
The Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, has launched an investigation into a deadly confrontation in Suswa that left 2 individuals dead and several others, including a police officer, critically injured. The violent clash, which unfolded on 17th this month, stemmed from an incident involving a vehicle that fatally struck livestock belonging to Maasai herders, igniting tensions between residents and law enforcement. Susan Nganga reports.
The Independent Policing Oversight Authority has initiated an investigation into the Suswa incident, which resulted in the deaths of 2 individuals during a confrontation involving police. The IPOA's investigation aims to scrutinize the circumstances surrounding the clash and hold accountable any parties involved in the misconduct.
We'll also be visiting a patient who we understand is still here, and what we request and we require from the public is to maintain calmness. We are going to do an impartial investigation because what has been recovered, as you've heard from the pathologist, are fragments. So we are here with our forensic team from IPOA who are going to do a ballistic examination.
The incident happened on January 17, where a violent confrontation occurred in Suswa, Narok County, resulting in multiple fatalities and injuries. The chaos erupted after a vehicle struck and killed livestock belonging to Maasai herders, leading to confrontation and running battles with the police, leaving 1 officer critically injured after being hacked and beaten to near death. The situation escalated further when police attempted to remove the carcasses from the road on Friday morning, triggering violent resistance from residents who returned the dead animals to the highway, leading to the clashes. The unrest brought transport along the narrow Kisii Road to a standstill for most part of the day. Susan Nganga, GBS News.
Property of unknown value was reduced to ashes and tens of families were left homeless on Monday night after fire razed down rental properties at sprawling Mungo slums in the outskirts of Nyahururu town. Now, it was reported that the fire started at around 7:30 p.m. from one of the timber houses before it spread to nearby houses. Perry Skigo reports.
Sisi tulikuwa kwa nyumba tukasikia duru. Mimi kutoka nikaona moto. nikapiga duru, watu wakatoka. Sasa kutoka tukaona watu wanajaribu kupima hiyo moto, ikashida watu
kwa pale kwa barabara. Sasa nimesikia duru, nikaanza kukuja, nikakimbia, nikaona haikuwa ni ndani kwa chomeka, nikakuja kufika hapa, nikaona ni kwa huyu mzee anakuwa nyuma yetu. Sasa nimeona huyu mzee anakuwa moto, nikaona zimezidi. Sasa kufika kwa nyumba, ndivyo nikakuta sasa kutoa vitu, nikaanza kutoa vitu, nikaona hata ziwe sasa moto sasa imekuwa kubwa sana.
The county government of Embu has taken an important step to protect students and staff at vocational training centers by providing firefighting equipment and training. This move is aimed at improving fire safety and emergency preparedness across all 26 centers in the county.
In a bid to improve fire safety, the county government of Embu has delivered essential firefighting equipment to all 26 vocational training centers. The equipment includes fire extinguishers, fire blankets, first aid kits, and fire safety signs. Education CEC Daniel Garanwa explained that their equipment is part of a larger effort to ensure VTCs are ready to handle small fires before they turn into serious emergencies.
This is just a process of our preparedness to fight any eventuality concerning fires in our VTC institutions in the county. We have done this with the realization that, and after noting that fires can come anytime, can attack anytime, we did our training, the training for all our managers in our VTCs, and one teacher for every institution on fire fighting strategies and techniques and the necessary equipments.
The equipment was delivered by Digifil Fire Safety Limited, which also trained 2 staff members from each center on fire safety techniques. The training covered important skills like how to prevent fires, how to put out small fires, and how to communicate during an emergency. Tibet County Chief Officer Infantas Mugendi highlighted that the new equipment will make VTCs safer for students.
Security ya watoto kwa shule ni kitu ya muhimu. Hasa mambo ya moto, kwa sababu sana sana tunaonanga shule mingi za boarding ndio zinapatanga hii mambo ya moto. Lakini gavana amezuia hiyo, sasa tumepata vifaa. Tungetaka kumshukuru gavana kwa hii hatua amechukua. Si jambo la kawaida, lakini tunashukuru, tumeona kweli anafikiria watoto wetu. So wasasi mleta watoto kwa mashule yetu ya kiufundi waende.
Franklin Coril, a lead fire technician from Digifil Fire Safety, assured the county that they are now well prepared for any fire emergencies thanks to both the equipment and the training. The equipment will be placed in key areas around the centers to ensure it's easily accessible if needed. Irene Juguna, GBS News.
Residents of Manyata constituency in Embu County have voiced their concerns with their Member of Parliament Gitonga Mukunji accusing him of undermining Governor Cecily Mbarire and stalling development projects. Here's more.
Residents of Manyata constituency in Embu County have criticized MP Gitonga Mukunji for undermining Governor Cecily Mbarire and stalling development. They accused him of creating a hostile environment and deter investors and skipping a crucial development meetings at the Deputy President office, showing a lack of commitment to progress. Locals, including Dennis Munene and Christine Muthoni, called out Mukunji for prioritizing populist politics over collaborations and development.
Kila wakati bandara ya kutufanyia kazi, Embu imekuwa uwanja ya siasa ya vita. Bandara ya kufanya kazi, yeye kazi yake anafikiria mtu yule mwingine ile kazi anafanya.
Sasa tunasema in one voice, in one accord. Yes. Mukunji tafadhali, yes. Ondokea maneno ya Manyata kabisa. Maneno ya Gakondo ondokea.
They defended the governor autonomy in seeking partnership and criticized the MP for hypocrisy in his criticism of her efforts. Gladwell Nyaga challenged Mukunji to deliver tangible development results, reflecting the community's frustration with his leadership. Residents are demanding accountability and constructive engagement to address the constituency development needs. Paris Kigo, GBS News.
It is time for us to take a short break. Keep your feedback streaming into our social media handles at GBS TV Africa, and our SMS line is 21144. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Water remains to be the world's most precious commodity, but is the most misused. In times of drought, saving water is the only solution to making sure you have it. Don't use the shower when water is scarce. Instead, use the basin while bathing. Repair all leaking taps and pipes. Wash your car only whenever necessary. If not, use a piece of cloth to wipe it clean. Do not use the hose pipe to water your garden. Instead, use the water you clean your vegetable with to water your flowers. Do not release wastewater into rivers. Note that your downstream is someone else's upstream. Of all the waters available on Earth, only 1% is fit for human consumption. Every drop counts.
We are going to be talking about goal setting itself and building resilience. Goal setting and building resilience.
So hizi sema nita set goal, then someone else akuja kuwork on the goal. Hawezi sema uta set goal yenyewe mwenyewe huwezi reach. Hawezi sema uta set goal na mali una stand like huwezi reach ile goal umeset.
Just imagine I've promised someone that I will do something to them by the end of this year, and then surely I fail. What will happen? You know, they will say Steve has broken my heart.
Nimeset hata mimi goals, but ni realistic goals.
Unajua aje ni realistic?
Because najua I'm capable of, like, they're realistic. They are making sense. Sijasema nanunua V8 by the end of the year. But because I know inaweza kuwa impossible, because mtu anaangalianga. Si kumake tu. Unajua utaandika. By December 31st, nataka kuwa na iPhone 16 Pro.
It is insane to do the same thing and expect different results. Yeah, so definitely we need to see, like, if it is not working, what is in this system that is making this thing fail, and I'm expecting these results. How can I improve this project?
The goals that you set, maybe ukiona like maybe that can be affected by kitu huwezi avoid.
About self-competition. I'm only in competition with the person I see in the mirror, and that is me. So it is about my personal development.
It's not just a matter of writing and putting and now waiting, you know.
Hello everyone. I'm so much thankful to have this precious time to actually share with you the word of God. When I was growing up and when I was attending church, my former church, I was taught that, you know, although I'm saved, but as I, you know, when I commit sin, I become a sinner. And then when I become a sinner, again, I repent my sin every day for it to be forgiven, so that I can be assured of salvation. But when I was living a life of trying to confess my sin each and every day, and believing that I'm a sinner, actually I could not have an assurance of my salvation in my heart. So I thought, and I was taught that my sin is, you know, the deeds which I do outwardly. Until the time I came to realize, for sure, I'm a person who cannot really do good. The problem is not the deeds which I'm doing outwardly. The problem is the core. The core of my heart itself is evil. You know, Jesus, what he did, you know, he lived among us. And then he died on the cross because of our sin. And then he rose again. The reason why now he did not just resurrect and go to heaven, it is because of, you know, to meet the disciple and to witness that, you know, sin and death could not have any power in his life. He wanted to manifest that eternal life.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back now to international news. President Samia Suluhu Hassan has been nominated by Tanzania ruling party as its presidential candidate for the October elections. While she has called for unity ahead of the vote, tensions remain high, with opposition parties decrying ongoing repression and lack of electoral reforms. Here is more on the scene.
Tanzania's ruling party has nominated Samia Suluhu Hassan as its candidate for president ahead of the country's general elections in October. Hassan has called for unity ahead of the vote. The 64-year-old took office in 2021 following the sudden death of John Magufuli, who was accused of curbing certain freedoms and stamping out dissent. Initially, she was hailed for easing restrictions Magufuli had implemented on the opposition and media. However, rights groups and Western governments have since denounced what they view as renewed repressions of the opposition. Politicians from the main opposition, Chadema party, have been detained, and a series of opposition figures have been abducted and murdered. Last year, the party threatened to boycott elections if reforms to the electoral systems had not been put in place. Hassan's nomination set the stage for a highly anticipated election, marked by her calls for unity and the opposition's demands for reforms, highlighting the deep political divisions and challenges facing Tanzania's democratic process. Paris Kigo, GBS News.
The United Nations Mission in Democratic Republic of Congo has announced that over 600 combatants from the Zaire armed group have laid down their weapons, marking a positive first step towards peace. This development also aims to help reintegrate former fighters, including women and young people, into civilian life.
In a hopeful turn of events, more than 600 members of the Zaire armed group have given up their weapons in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. This announcement, made by the United Nations on Monday, is seen as a critical first step towards ending violence and helping former combatants rebuild their lives. During a recent ceremony in the town of Bunia, over 85 weapons and munitions were also handed over to the UN mission. Farhan Haq, deputy spokesperson for the UN Secretary General, said this move is part of a broader effort to help combatants reintegrate into society.
Our peacekeeping colleagues in the mission in the UN mission in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, MONUSCO, report that over 600 combatants from the Zaire armed group have laid down their arms. This took place in Mabanga in Ituri province's Jugu territory. During a ceremony held recently in Bunia, more than 85 weapons and munitions were also handed over to the mission. This development, supported by our peacekeeping colleagues and the government of the DRC, is a first step towards facilitating the reintegration of former combatants, including women and young people, into civilian life. They are receiving support for agricultural projects, income-generating activities, and community recovery programs.
The eastern region of the Congo is home to hundreds of armed groups, many of which are driven by ethnic conflicts or the desire to control valuable natural resources, with many fleeing to overcrowded camps in search of safety. As the conflict continues with no end in sight, humanitarian organizations are facing growing challenges in providing aid to those in need. The United Nations hopes that the disarmament of these combatants could pave the way for more peaceful efforts in the region and help ease the suffering of displaced families. Irene Juguna.
President Donald Trump has returned to the White House, delivering an inaugural address that promised a golden age for the United States while unveiling a radical agenda to reverse policies from previous administration. His first day back in office saw sweeping executive orders aimed at rolling back federal initiatives on diversity, migration, and climate policy. Trump claims that mandate to carry out these changes, vowing to end America's decline and begin a new era of prosperity. Abdi Ahmed reports.
Trump's first action in office was swift and bold, signing a series of executive orders to repeal much of the Biden's administration legislative agenda. These orders included a freeze on new government regulations, ending birthright citizenship for children born in the U.S. from undocumented immigrants. He also ordered a pardon for 1,500 January 6 insurrectionists. Trump signed multiple executive orders such as ending remote work for government workers.
Announced in your speech is a requirement that federal workers return to full-time in-person work immediately.
Opting out of the UN Paris Climate Accord, Trump also revoked actions aimed at reducing prescription costs. Trump mandated a 90-day halt in foreign development aid to allow for evaluations of its efficiency and alignment with his foreign policy objectives. His policy might affect developing countries that are in need of aid assistance. The most controversial of all had to do with World Health Organization.
So we paid $500 million to World Health when I was here, and I terminated it. China with 1.4 billion people. We have 350 to pay. We have, nobody knows what we have because so many people came in illegally, but let's say we have 325. They had 1.4 billion. They were paying 39 million, we were paying 500 million. It seemed a little unfair to me. So that wasn't the reason, but I dropped out.
Trump said that he will not immediately raise tariff on Canada and Mexico. He hinted at the possibility of future economic sanctions. The radical nature of Trump's executive orders on his first day back in office has divided the country. Trump's strategy is clear: to undo what he sees as the damage done by the Biden administration. Yet his policy continues to provoke strong controversy worldwide. Trump's return to office has made it clear that the country is divided over the future direction of governance. His promise to erase the policies of his predecessor and to embark on a new chapter for America will likely spark debate and challenges in courts and Congress. As Trump pushes his radical agenda, the nation must confront whether his visions can bring about the unity and prosperity he promises, or if it will only exacerbate the divisions that have defined his political career. America is at a crossroads, and the next chapter in its history is unfolding now. This is Abdi Hamid Ali, GBS News.
It's official, Donald Trump is back in the Oval Office as the 47th President of the United States. His inauguration on the brisk on Monday in Washington has set ripples across the globe, igniting reactions from world leaders eager to work with or brace for the different style of governance.
World leaders wasted no time in reacting to the return of Donald Trump to the White House. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu expressed optimism, highlighting Trump's leadership in strengthening U.S. and Israel ties. Netanyahu also thanked the president for his effort in securing the release of Israeli hostages and expressed hope for future collaboration to address security concerns in Gaza. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan called for intensified effort with the Trump's administration to resolve the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, emphasizing the need to swift peace in the region. Across Europe, leaders echoed their congratulations, underlining the importance of transit relations. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz emphasized the enduring bond between the US and Europe, while European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen voiced her commitment to tackling global challenges together with the new admission. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte highlighted the opportunity to turbocharge defense efforts, reinforcing the alliance's commitment to global security under Trump's leadership. From Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau welcomed the opportunity to strengthen economic partnership with the U.S., while the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer praised the long-standing collaboration between the two nations. In the Asia-Pacific region, leaders from Australia and New Zealand celebrated the robust alliance between their nations and the United States, looking forward for future opportunities in cooperation. In the Middle East, Syrian leader Ahmed al-Shara expressed hope that Trump's presidency would restore peace and stability in the region after years of conflict and suffering. As Trump begins his term, global leaders appear unified in their readiness to work with the new administration on pressing issues, from international security to economic collaboration. Joy Kura, GBS News.
As U.S. President Donald Trump took office on Monday, he started a sweeping immigration crackdown that included shutting down the CBP One app now, which allowed hundreds of thousands of migrants to legally enter the U.S. by scheduling appointments. On January 7th, about 200,000 people were logging into the app daily, but they got cancelled now. It left many people in a state of despair. Here's more the scene.
Nidia Montenegro, a migrant from Venezuela who had traveled through Mexico to reunite with her son in the U.S., was devastated by the cancellation of her appointment. The shutdown of the CBP One app left her in limbo. She is among thousands who are affected by the Trump's administration's decision to end the program, which had offered the only legal pathway to asylum at the U.S.-Mexico border.
I waited 4 months in Tapachula. We were left in limbo. We don't know what to do. Really, the joy we had, it stops here. We don't know what we're going to do. We are left in limbo.
Human rights groups have criticized the move, calling it a violation of migrants' rights and arguing that it removes the only avenue for seeking asylum, with Republicans promising to intensify border security and deportations, and President Biden having implemented his own strict immigration policies. The future of migrants' rights remains uncertain. This policy shift underlines the challenge facing migrants who, like Montenegro, have already endured significant hardship in search of safety. The disruption of the CBP One app reveals the fragility of the system for migrants seeking refuge in the U.S. While politicians push for stronger border measures, the human cost of this decision is staggering. As the legal battles over immigration policy unfold, the plight of those waiting at the border remains a compelling reminder of the personal impact of political decisions. This is Abdihamid Ali, GBS News.
And now to our favorite segment of the show, the sports news. Let's get sporty. Tusker FC edged reigning champions Gor Mahia 2-1 in a nail-biting clash staged at Kenyatta Stadium in Machakos. Tusker FC head coach Charles Okere has dismissed Kenyan Premier League title talk, saying it is too early to go into conclusions. Okere has, however, heaped praise on his these charges for topping the league after the first half of the season. The win took Tusker's tally to 33 points at the apex of the league, 3 ahead of the Kenya Police FC and 9 ahead of Kogalo.
Tusker FC stunned Gor Mahia for the first time in the last 2 years, thanks to Ryan Ogam's last gap goal. The 20-year-old had broken the deadlock in the 50th minute, sending Tusker's fans into wild celebrations. However, Austin Odhiambo cancelled the hosts' lead 20 minutes later with a superb free kick from 25 yards. And with the match heading for a draw, Tusker were awarded a free kick at death. Dennis Wanjala, the dead ball specialist for the 2022 Premier League champions, sent a perfect cross in the box, with Ogam rising high to smash the ball into the net, his 15th goal of the season. Okere is now aiming at solidifying his defense ahead of the second half of the season as they seek to reclaim the title they had relinquished in 2023. Tusker FC will travel to Ulinzi for their next match as they aim to continue with the winning streak. Reporting for GBS TV, I am John Kinyanjui.
The FKF Youth League 2024-2025 season finals are set to take place this weekend on Saturday and Sunday, January 25th and 26th, 2025. This season marks the second edition of the youth leagues, which have grown significantly to include 786 teams across 6 counties, that is Turkana, Kakamega, Kisumu, Nakuru, Mombasa, and Nairobi. The finals will be hosted at various centers nationwide, with Nakuru and Turkana scheduled to hold their finals on Saturday, while Kakamega, Kisumu, and Mombasa will conclude their match on Sunday. Now, Nairobi will host its final across both Saturday and Sunday.
FKF Youth League was established to identify and nurture new football talent, providing a robust platform for young players to showcase their skills and catch the eye of scouts. It has served as a critical stepping stone for many aspiring footballers, highlighting the immense talent across the country. The last edition of the FKF Youth League saw Rodney Strikers emerge as winners in the boys under 15 and under 13 categories, while the girls under 13 category was won by SJF and the girls under 15 categories by Ladies Musa. This time, the competition features both under 13 and under 15 categories, along with the newly introduced under 17 categories for boys and girls. As the second edition of this initiative, the FKF Youth League has demonstrated the Football Kenya Federation's commitment to grassroots development and the future of Kenyan football. The growth in participation from teams across diverse regions underscores the league's success in reaching untapped areas of talent. Reporting for GBS TV, I am John Kinyanjui.
Real Madrid president Florentino Perez was re-elected with a mandate until 2029 after running for the position unopposed. Now, Perez, who is 77 years old, has now not faced any opposition in 4 elections, that is 2013, 2017, 2021 and 2025, since returning to the club in 2009 for a second spell at the helm. Perez is one of the most influential figures in Spain and has transformed Real Madrid, having a huge impact on Spanish, European and world football since first winning the presidency in 2000. The Spanish businessman was first elected as Madrid president in 2000, overseeing the club's Galantico era, and resigned in 2006. Florentino Perez has overseen 2 periods in the club's history, having served at the helm between 2000 and 2006 before returning in 2009. Since Perez returned in 2009, Real Madrid have won 5 Spanish league titles and a remarkable 6 European Cups, among other silverware. During the 77-year-old second term, he focused more on buying young talents. Madrid are now realigning La Liga and Champions League winners have already won 2 trophies this season, the UEFA Super Cup and FIFA Intercontinental Cup. Madrid announced the news after a 4-1 thrashing, and Las Palmas helped them move top of La Liga. And that's all we had for you tonight at GBS News at 9. It is always a pleasure having you on board. Let's do this again, same time, same channel. My name is Stephen George. Our sign language interpreter tonight has been Paul Madenge. Have yourself a wonderful night.
Everywhere, GBS.